Angela Pinky Swear Peters.
And I'm Latchkey Laurie Schultz. We were born in the 70s.
We're children of the 80s.
And had our coming of age in the 90s. You know, the good old days when kids could be kids.
When music had real instruments.
And when no one ever seemed to worry about carbs.
If you want a flashback to simpler times, buckle up.
Wait, seatbelts? Where we're going, we don't need seatbelts.
Well then, just grab your Jolt Cola, smell that teen spirit, and hop on our big old banana seat bike to take a spin down memory lane with us.
For we are the best generation that ever was.
You're listening to Generation X Rated.
The Survivor Stories.
Hey Laurie.
Hi, Angela.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What do you remember about your Saturday mornings in the 80s?
Saturday mornings in the 80s. They were full of sugary cereal and cartoons, baby.
What was your favorite cereal?
What was my favorite cereal? I loved Corn Pops, believe it or not. They're different now. They're not the same. But back then, I loved Corn Pops. And I loved the cereals that had marshmallows. But I would just pick out the marshmallows and I would eat like a bowl of marshmallows.
If you had to pick between Count Chocula, Boo Berry, and...
Frankenberry?
Frankenberry.
Yeah.
Which one?
I really like Frankenberry.
Odd answer.
Yeah,
Everyone
the pink
picks
one.
Count Chocula.
I know, but it's there's a flavor. There's a specific flavor
Chemical.
to Frankenberry.
That's what we'll call it.
Yeah. Chemtrails.
Chemtrails. That's what's different about the Corn Pops.
The chemtrails?
The chemicals they used then.
Is that the highly nutritive, non-varnish, whatever it was from highly nutritive, non-something varnish.
Cereal varnish.
Yeah.
From
cereal varnish.
From the vacation movies.
The Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation. That was his patented thing that he got the bonus for.
Say they're organic now, but they have to be healthier than they were back then.
Because they have to be.
Because yeah,
somebody legislated that the cereal has to be healthy now.
We didn't want it to be.
No. That's not the purpose of junk cereal. It's called junk cereal for a reason. If I wanted good cereal, I'd eat friggin' Shreddies or something.
Ugh, the worst.
Good, homie Shreddies. Sorry, advertising works.
It does.
Jingles, man. I'm all about the jingles.
Okay, but we all know what was the best part of the cereal box, especially if you had a sibling.
Prize. The prize.
Do you remember any of the prizes? I don't remember any of them.
No, I don't. Sometimes there were coupons, though, I think, maybe.
Yeah,
like to a movie or something. Mm-hmm. But that's no good. One coupon to a movie?
I wanted things to come out of the box, and I can't remember a single one of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
There was a lot of like collecting enough and send it in and you get a better prize.
Yeah.
And I think they started doing that after someone decided it wasn't okay to put stuff inside boxes, or it was a cost thing. Like it was maybe
Why couldn't stuff go inside a box?
It probably cost them too much.
So it's not about the health and safety of what's inside the box. It's the bottom line again.
Yeah.
Well, Mike was raising his hand.
If I can slip in for a second, I found...
That's what he said.
I found 80skids.com 10 amazing cereal box toys from the 80s.
Ooh. Let's hear it.
Number 1.
I want to know if I had one.
Bike spoke reflectors.
Oh.
In the picture, I remember these from the early 90s at least. They were like a little round thing that you would put on your spokes, and as your wheel turned, it would like fall to the middle and then and it would make like a
click, 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 click. Yeah.
Oh, I was envisioning like reflectors in boxes.
No, I loved those. I had those too as a kid.
Yeah, so apparently those came in. Rubber poppers, which were those little dome things that you turn inside out.
Yes. Oh, chokeable.
Mm-hmm. They look like little diaphragms.
Absolutely look like a menstrual cup. The Diva cup.
Let's not use that for that purpose. It's probably so full of chemicals.
Are you going to bleep that to you?
Diva cup's fine.
Pencil toppers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Stick it up their butt. The statue of the...
3D glasses. Because they're I think on cereal boxes they would have like the 3D.
3D yeah, right on the box.
And there'd be some movie thing.
Yeah,
Right.
there'd be like one of those weird, as you put it on, you'd see the message.
Remember Jaws 3 was in 3D?
No.
Yeah, and so was Amityville 3.
Hmm.
3D.
I never got to the 3s of many
That
movies.
shark was just like coming right at you in Jaws. Right off the screen.
I'm not entirely sure about this next one. Number 5 is money. If you bought 5 packs of shredded wheat cereal, paid for the postage, and then waited
Paid for the postage.
28 days for delivery, you could be the proud owner of a 1 pound coin.
Sounds like one of those TV church scams.
I feel like there was just coins in my shreddies. It was so unsafe then.
Send us this and we'll give you a
Pennies.
bucket of holy water. Yay.
Number 6 is Shrinky Dinks.
I remember Shrinky Dinks.
They were so
I dated
much,
that guy.
so
Sorry.
much science. Oh.
Okay.
Number 7,
'cause it's
water transfer tattoos. Temporary tattoos.
Yes.
I love those.
Yes.
Number
They
8.
tasted really good too.
Oh.
Yeah.
They didn't last long.
They didn't.
Number 8, badges. We loved getting these badges and stickers in a Weetabix box.
Oh, I never ate Weetabix.
Um,
Way too healthy. It was probably like, good job, badges.
But this photograph I'm looking at rings no bells for
No, that
me
looks
at all.
very like American. Maybe we didn't get that here.
Number 9,
God.
trivia booklets.
Oh.
And
Who
number
wants
10,
that?
pop posters. So it was different bands. Shaken Stevens, ABBA, Madness, Toya,
If it wasn't Glass Tiger, I don't want it.
Adam, yeah, not Glass Tiger.
I loved Glass Tiger.
That's the list according to 80skids.com.
Huh. Well, I don't think any of those would really make me want to buy any of those cereals. Really. Especially Weetabix.
Well, if I
What
was
the hell
getting
could
money
you
in my
put-
shreddies, I'd do it.
Well, I mean, they have to basically pay you to eat the shreddies at that point. I don't mind shreddies.
No, I've acquired a grown-up taste to them, yes.
I like shreddies in my homemade nuts and bolts.
Yes.
Michael, you've had my homemade nuts and bolts.
It's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
It is.
Lots of cereals go in there. Well, not lots, maybe 4. 3.
Well, we're getting less and less.
Yeah, we have 3 cereals that go in there. More could, but I just, like, cereal's expensive now.
Cereal is ridiculously expensive now. What was the worst? What was the worst cereal back then? It was the puffs that tasted like dirt.
Like the rice puffs?
Yeah, there was a coating over them.
Puff wheat, puff rice.
Puff. It was a puff. It wasn't Cocoa Puffs. Those were good. This was a
Sugar
The
Crisp?
sugar crisp, sugar bear, sugar crisps. I felt like it was the same
that
thing.
sugar crisp.
100%.
Yeah.
And they were brown
And they were
Coated.
just puffed rice.
with styrofoam
Yeah,
and
that's gross.
WD-40. Like it was gross. Like the
Although
worst.
I'd probably have a bowl of it right now just to try it.
I think it was like in the house every now and then. Must have been on sale. I feel
No.
like we didn't get a lot of sugared cereal, but we probably did.
Sugar Crisp and Sugar Smacks were
Ooh.
different. What's the different?
Sugar
difference
Smacks
there.
were way better. Wasn't that the frog?
That was the
one?
frog, yeah.
Way better. The other one was just dirt. It was dirt styrofoam.
Dirt. You should write for their marketing department. It was dirt and styrofoam. Eat up, kids. It's good for you.
It wasn't. It probably clogged your colon because it was just
Probably.
like as soon as you add water, it just.
Yeah, all it
Expanded.
is just carb. That's it. Carbs and sugar.
I feel like
is
there
what
was so many
happened. Oh
things
my
they could have
God,
done
this
to
is
make
what
it
happened.
better. Yeah, that was a bad one.
I also liked Cocoa Pebbles, and you can get those again.
Yes, you can. And Fruity Pebbles.
I didn't like the Fruity Pebbles. I liked the Cocoa Pebbles.
So you liked the Fruity Pebbles. You didn't like Fruity Pebbles. You
No.
liked the Cocoa Pebbles, but
Right.
you didn't like the Choco Dracula. But you liked
Right.
the Boo Berry. Okay,
Yeah, Count Chocula, no, but I like Frankenberry. Yeah.
interesting.
I also was not a huge fan of, what's that one? Where purple hearts, yellow moons,
Oh, Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Yeah,
Thank you.
not good.
No,
Not a fan of that
no.
either.
And honeycombs used to destroy the roof of my mouth.
Another dirt tasting. It was honeycombs tasted like dirt as well, like honey dirt.
Must be that varnish that they use on it.
They sprayed it down with something.
Insecticide.
DDT.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the bears. Didn't bears make honeycomb as well as sugar bears and sugar smack? What was sugar smack? Did we just have this comfort?
Yeah, why
If
the
the
sugar
chemicals have
smacks
come
were
back.
like the same as Sugar Crisp.
Do you remember Trix?
Tricks are for kids.
Yeah.
And hookers.
Oh my God.
It's true.
So
Right?
what else
No
were
good?
you doing Saturday morning?
Yes. You know what else I was doing Saturday morning?
Yeah, you have your cereal, then what?
I was watching some cartoons.
Okay, tell me what you were watching.
Smurfs. 100% I was watching Smurfs.
Who was your favorite Smurf?
Oh, man. Who was my... Jokey Smurf. The
I
one who
can see
carried
that.
that box around and was trying to practical joke everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good
I
Smurf
can see
for me.
that.
Although I really felt bad for Gargamel and Azrael, the cat.
I felt bad for the cat because he just belonged to an evil man.
But was he really evil or was he just misunderstood?
Nope.
Like maybe the Smurfs were actually assholes. And this poor guy is just trying to live his life. And these Smurfs are like wreaking havoc. And he's just like, okay, it's like us getting an ant trap. I gotta get rid of these things. You know, I think of that sometimes when I get ants. Are they just like Smurfs? Am I the Gargamel to these ants?
Yes.
Is Uncle Harry my cat the Azrael?
Yes.
Yes.
I can see it. I think you're absolutely right.
These
You're
are the
onto something
things
here.
that keep me up at night.
Getting back to proportions of things, how much smaller were the Smurfs to Gargamel?
They were 2 apples. 2 apples tall.
How do you know this? What do you mean?
Because I'm correct, right? I'm right, Mike. Right?
I know very little about the Smurfs.
Yeah,
but I
you
do
know the most
I do-
mundane thing is that they're as tall as 2 apples. How do you
2
know
apples
that?
high.
No, that's common
Never heard that.
knowledge.
Oh, mine.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I
Come on,
guess
Angela.
mine was Smurfette, obviously.
Keep up.
And she was just the dumbest, blondest Smurf. So
But she wasn't blonde to start. Did you know this?
What?
Smurfette was basically a femme fatale created by Gargamel to go in and infiltrate the Smurfs. And it was the Smurfs' love that actually accepted her and turned her from a black-haired villainess
Jezebel.
Jezebel to
No
the
way.
loving Suzanne Summers type Chrissy Snow blonde Smurfette.
I don't think I saw the director's cut of Smurfs like you did. Wow.
I know.
That's a lot.
I know things.
To unpack.
Yeah.
I'm
So
going
there
to
you
have to
go.
go Brainy Smurf here and dig deep into...
Brainy Smurf? Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing. I'm glad I didn't pick that up as a child because that could have done damage.
Yeah, like she was about to be exiled because the Smurfs found her out, and then all of a sudden, I don't know.
Was
if it
this in the pilot? I don't
Papa
remember.
Smurf or somebody's like, let's just bring her into a
Papa
fold.
Smurf.
I don't know. I'd like to see that episode again. That's weird, eh?
So much I need to know now.
Yeah. I wonder how many people remember that.
I think no one.
Just me.
You were like watching CSI Smurfs or something like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Like I don't remember. Like how many times are we going to say this? I don't remember things that are necessary for my daily living skills. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you that Smurfette.
I feel gullible. I feel like I watched Smurfs and I saw Smurfs, and yet there was a whole sinister...
Like a subplot, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't subplot. I don't get the subplots
Yeah,
ever.
okay.
I am very much like, you show me something, I'm going to just see what you're showing me.
your face value kind of gal.
Yeah. I don't ever... If I ever say I want to be an investigative journalist, just be like,
Yeah.
nope,
I
won't
would-
work. It's too late in life to change
You can
careers.
just take the pictures.
Yeah.
you can hold the camera.
Fascinating. That's fascinating.
You can be the caddy, the golf caddy.
Was Scooby-Doo straight up what I was watching, or was there another... Tell me all the plots to
I
all the
don't know all the
cartoons,
plots.
please.
Scooby-Doo, I don't know. He was just he was a Great Dane. He was supposed to be like a goofy version of Marmaduke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know
Remember
a lot.
Marmaduke?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just making that up that he was supposed to be that, but that's what he was. He was a goofy version of Marmaduke. He was a Great Dane. But I've never seen a Great Dane with that coloring.
Me neither. That's why I think I'm calling BS on that. But,
Well, he was a Great Dane.
okay.
And Shaggy? Oh,
Donor.
I can tell you a little Shaggy story. Did you say sperm donor?
No, I said stoner. Can you imagine choosing Shaggy's sperm for your kid? Sorry, for your kid. Oh
I
no!
thought you said sperm donor.
Can you imagine Velma
God.
is like, I can't
Jinkies.
have Jinkies, I can't have a baby, and Shag's just like, he wasn't the ruh-roh, that was the dog. And he was like,
But he was all like puberty.
she just would give him food and be like, can I have some sperm?
Yeah.
Like, you're the only one I know. Fred's obviously, with Daphne?
Daphne, yeah.
Oh, wow. There's a whole...
But Shaggy is so stoned. His sperm count is 0. Like,
right.
it's...
Oh, yeah. It didn't work out. There was no offspring.
Boxers or briefs, Shaggy? Nope.
None. Oh, my God.
Wow. Right into the ditch. Okay.
Stoner.
But here's a Shaggy story for you.
Please tell me.
Shaggy was kind of my first boyfriend. Obviously not a real life boyfriend, just in case anyone's wondering.
I was.
I was not dating a cartoon.
But
in my mind I was.
Wouldn't that just make him a crush as opposed to a boyfriend?
No, as far as I was concerned,
A boyfriend's mutual.
that was my boyfriend.
Okay.
Okay?
There's a lot
To the point where
talk about here.
If we ring my mom up right now, she'll tell you. I used to set a place at the table for Shaggy.
Oh.
Not for a real person. For Shaggy.
Did you know that was not a real person?
I don't know what I knew and what I didn't know.
What level did you take this to? Like, that's already a lot. I wouldn't want Shaggy at my dinner table because he'd eat everything.
Probably. And what's with the chin hairs?
No,
Either grow
you
it out
can't- you
or
can't-
don't grow it out.
No, you can't change the subject and
I
reroute
can.
it back to his chin hairs. When you're telling me and Mike that he was not just like
dying here.
a crush, he was your boyfriend.
Here's my boyfriend.
What year in your life are we talking about? Like, is
I
it
think I was
before
maybe-
10 or after 10?
Oh, no, I think I was maybe 5 or 6.
Oh,
I think
thank
like
God.
kindergarten-ish.
Oh, thank God.
I think 45. Times are tough, kids.
He's sitting here right now. Oh, there is an extra chair.
That's
too.
right.
Sorry, Shags.
That's right, the cookies in front of him. Empty beer
And
can.
he's stoned. So this is your intervention, Shags.
Jinkies.
How long did this go on? Did you write him letter? Like what? I don't want to bring up a diary again, but did you like talk about him to your?
Oh, yeah. It was Shaggy and I are going to do this, and Shaggy and I. Yeah, it was...
Were you ever sent to an appointment to talk to a doctor and you weren't sick?
No, I don't think so.
How long did your parents let this go on?
I think my dad was over it, like, right away. It's enough of this bullshit. My mom's just
3
like,
seconds in,
That's right.
he's like, tell Shaggy to get out of here.
That's right.
And your mom's like, come on, it's fine.
That's right, pretty much. That sounds exactly like how it went down.
She's only 12.
Plus 12. She just graduated from university. Give her a break. Like I said, times are tough. So
Did he get mail to your house? Like, how deep does this go? Oh my God. I've never heard of anyone dating a cartoon. But I'm here for it. I'm so here for it.
You've shown up. Thanks for showing up.
What was it about Shaggy that you liked?
I
Was it
don't
the chin
know.
hairs? Or
I don't think it was. I don't know what it was.
did
he
you
was
let
just-
him hang out with Scooby? Like, was
I
it...
just thought Fred was too pretty. What's with the ascot?
Oh,
Come on, Fred.
right?
Fred was not my type.
No, Shaggy was chill.
Shaggy was chill. He was kind of funny.
Yeah.
He had one-liners. Even as a little kid, I could appreciate a good one-liner.
There was no competition. He wasn't going after Velma or Daphne or like he was like available.
And I liked his voice. Like, he was Casey Kasem. Is this news to you, Angela?
What?
You did not know that Casey Kasem voiced Shaggy?
No.
Yes.
Like the long distance dedication.
Yes,
Casey
Casey Kasem, top 40. American top 40
No.
Casey Kasem. Yes.
Oh.
Wow. Mind is blown.
Zoinks.
What was I doing Saturday morning?
I don't know, but it's clearly not paying attention.
Clearly, everything is face value for me. I'm not suspicious or.
You thought the cartoon had its own
curious.
voice?
Well, I certainly didn't know it was someone that famous,
pretty
and I can
famous.
hear it now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Wow. So you would listen to Top 40
Just
to hear
when I was
Shaggy.
trying to get my jollies.
Wow. When did you guys break up?
I don't know. It wasn't him, it was me.
Who was your rebound?
You know who my rebound
Was it He-Man?
No. And his little loincloth.
Skeletor?
Until next time. Till we meet again. I don't know who my rebound was. I really, I don't know. There was a lot of cartoons I was in love with, but Shaggy was my first.
I'm in love with that whole story.
I had a lot of loves. Like, I was in love with Michael Keaton. Loved Michael Keaton.
What was the first sighting of him that you were... Was it
Mr. Mom. Mr. Mom, definitely. Yeah, loved him in that.
Such a good movie.
He was obviously the first and best Batman. There was a movie called The Dream Team that I saw him in, and I just thought he was the most hilarious. Did you ever see The Dream Team?
You've talked about it before. I haven't, but he was not cartoon. So
I'm
glad
real.
you moved to...
I moved into at least three-dimensional people.
Three-dimensional.
Yeah. Still not... It was more the characters that I was a big fan of Mel Gibson before he went all Mel Gibson-y. You wouldn't say that now. He's not really my type anymore.
Right.
But back when he had that feathered Lethal Weapon hair.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was so great in that. The Lethal Weapons. Those were good.
Hitamando. Yeah. I really, really liked him. Emilio Estevez. I was going to marry him at one point as well. And we brought out the Emilio Estevez notebook today.
We did.
You're taking some notes in today.
I have taken nothing.
Well.
No wise. I did put Sesame Street down, but that wasn't Saturdays. Wasn't that a weekday show? They kind of took the weekends off, and then there was cartoons.
Yeah, I think it was a weekday show, but I love Sesame Street.
I think it was my homeschooling was basically like, I wasn't homeschooled.
Mike's giving us the peace sign.
But I feel like I learned how to read because of Sesame Street. But I'm thinking now that wasn't a...
Certainly wasn't the education system.
Wasn't
it was
the
Sesame Street.
Correct.
Right.
It wasn't the Saturday morning... What were the other shows?
On Saturday morning, Gem and the Holograms, for sure.
Truly outrageous.
There's Care Bear Countdown.
Care Bear Countdown.
Yeah. Beetlejuice. Do you remember the Beetlejuice cartoon?
I do.
I loved that. My Pet Monster.
I don't remember it, but I know the name of it.
My pet monster, my very bestest friend. Yeah, and so on and so forth. What else was on Saturday mornings? There was He-Man, I think. She-Ra. Didn't like She-Ra, but I did like the He-Man. There was that guy who rode the green cougar. Remember him? Man of Arms. And he had like a silver helmet and a big, bushy, like, red mustache. No? I'm alone here? Okay. But he rode a green tiger or something like that.
I watched a lot of the Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, like really older ones.
Oh, yeah. All my knowledge of pop culture comes from
Roadrunner.
Classical music. Started from Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to what else would have been on.
Some of those you watch now and you're like, ooh, that did not age well.
Oh, that whole thing. That whole, like, Pepe Le Pew being a little bit aggressive to the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that wouldn't be okay now.
A lot of, like, German Nazi type stuff from Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, a lot of
he's
sexism.
Actually dressed up like Hitler.
Yeah, they went there for sure.
They did.
But that back then would have been almost like the 50s or 60s. If you go back to Bugs Bunny, I think was really one of the first cartoons like that my parents watched and we watched. But it would have been accepted totally.
Yeah.
To have that on the air.
I'd still watch it.
Trying to think back to like I remember Inspector Gadget, but I feel like that was a week. There was a difference between weekday shows
after school. Yeah, and then Penny. And the dog Brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it? That was more of educational than.
Was it? No.
No.
She was just smart. Penny was a smart girl.
Smart.
Do you remember the commercials too during Saturday morning?
After these messages, we'll be right back. Okay.
Yes.
We cannot talk about Saturday morning without talking about Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yes.
Mecca lecca high, Mecca hiney ho.
That was the weirdest thing on TV, but I also couldn't not watch it.
Right. It's like a train wreck. You just gotta look at it.
That just brought back a lot. Yeah, grown man, a little bit weird, just a little bit, but super catchy show. And there was a lady on that show sometimes too.
Miss Yvonne.
Yes.
Yeah, she had giant boobs.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the genie.
Yeah, Genie. That was the Mecca lecca high, Mecca hiney ho.
Yeah, you're right.
Cowboy Curtis was Lawrence Fishburne.
Really?
Yes. This is funny. It's probably not going to be as funny as I say it out loud as it is in my head because it was a funny thing that happened. My niece, we watched The Outsiders with Ponyboy Curtis.
Yeah.
And she was trying to tell me one day how much she loved The Outsiders because she loved Cowboy Curtis. I'm like, no, you're mixing them up here. That is not from The Outsiders. Two different Curtises.
Yeah.
Curti? Is Curtis plural? Is it Curti? Two different Curti?
Are you, like, if there was 2 Curtises in your classroom, would you be like, can the Curtis come up?
The Curti.
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 Which Curtis was it?
Curti. Emerge forward, please. Yes. I won't.
You know what? That's a really good question, though. I don't get it.
I know. But let's go back to Pee-wee for a second.
Did he make a movie?
He made several. Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
The Alamo.
There's no basement in the Alamo. The Alamo. Yeah. And and knitting and knitting and knitting and knitting and Large Marge.
Large Marge.
The worst accident I ever seen. 10 years ago. On a night just like tonight. There was a sound like a garbage truck dropped off the Empire State Building. And as they pulled the driver's body from the twisted, burning wreck, it looked like this. And then her face, her eyes went all like Roger Rabbit-y. And
Yes.
yeah, that was the best. Again, another little monologue that I have here that I should audition with that
I was
somewhere
absolutely
someday.
going to suggest you do that.
Yeah.
Or not.
Again, don't remember anything necessary. I don't know what the difference between a Phillips and a Robertson.
Robinson.
Thank you. I don't even know how to say it. Screwdrivers.
It's Roberts.
I'm sure it's Robinson
Okay,
screwdriver.
so
Why is
you
there
guys fight it out,
two-
and I'll just sit here and
Okay.
Why is there
Cool.
Philip and Roberts?
It's a last name.
Phillips.
Like someone invented the square head
Somebody had to. Yeah,
screwdriver?
yeah, I don't know. Well, Phillips.
It's
whatever.
Robertson.
Robertson. Huh. You're welcome, society.
What if there was 2 Robertson screwdrivers? Would you be
Robert Sy?
Robert's eye? Can you pass me? I need some Phil eyes, please. Oh,
Is this the rock bottom? Have we hit it? Oh,
we
man.
have.
Wait, there's more cartoons though. There's got to be more.
Hey, I have a list
Please
here
do.
Ooh, please help us out,
of
Mike.
I lost it because I had
Oh,
to
you
Google
son of a-
screwdrivers. I'm gonna
He
top
Googled screwdrivers.
80s.
There was a lot of good commercials though that were toy related. Like that's
Yeah.
where you saw what was the coolest toy ever.
All those Mattel things.
Yes.
That's where, I mean, we did a Barbie episode at one point and
Yeah.
lots of the Barbie stuff.
So the 1980 Saturday morning cartoons top list here are including Thundercats.
Oh,
Is that the cougar one you were talking
No,
about? Okay.
this was a guy from He-Man who rode.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh.
That was later though. That couldn't have been the
Yeah.
80s.
I'll skip the ones that we haven't. Maybe technically starting like 89 or
Okay,
something was
all right.
kind of more a 90s show. Maybe.
All right.
I'll skip the ones we've talked about. The Real Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, Egon had blonde hair there. That just turned me right off.
You were over it.
Yeah.
Wrote a letter.
DuckTales.
Ooh.
DuckTales. Ooh.
Transformers.
More than meets the eye.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garfield and Friends.
I loved Garfield and Friends. And then, like, there's a little episode of Garfield and Odie, and then there was, like, these chickens and, like, a farm. That was the Friends, was these guys on a farm.
The Jetsons.
Meet George Jetson.
Yeah. Daughter Judy.
G.I. Joe.
His wife.
The Snorks.
The Snorks.
I recognize that little fella. It's Hanna-Barbera. Here's a tiny little thumbnail. You can't see the top of his head, but it looked like
Yeah.
a straw, I think,
It's
is
the
the
90s.
top of his head.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Voltron. Fraggle Rock.
Yes! Down in Fraggle Rock.
I remember Fraggle Rock being like a nighttime
Get your cares
show
away.
when it first came out. It was
Yeah,
great.
like the Muppets.
Yeah.
It was, I love the Muppet Show.
Adventures of the Gummy Bears.
Bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I wasn't allowed to watch that.
Chip and Dale.
Ooh.
Rescue Ranger. That
Risque.
was. I definitely grew up with that one.
Like Tailspin. Remember Tailspin?
Strippers?
Yeah.
Strippers.
Chippendales.
Oh, yeah.
That was pay-per-view.
Right. The wavy
Flintstones.
lines.
Flintstones classic.
Yeah.
Last two would be Thundar the Barbarian
No.
And finally, Mr. T.
Pity the food, don't watch my commercials.
Mr.
Hey.
T had his own cartoon?
Yeah. Do you remember, you wouldn't, and you will. Mike, you wouldn't remember this. Hercules.
Yeah.
Herc, it's Daedalus, it's Daedalus.
Oh no, that guy that was half
Is the centaur,
goat
the centaur.
and half person?
Yeah.
Hey Herc.
And then that was Newt.
Newt.
But then there was Toot, the guy who
Toot.
only spoke with like a flute.
Yes. Really bad animation.
And then everybody just knew what Toot was doing or what he was saying when he go with his little flute thing.
Who was like the mean guy though in Hercules?
Daedalus.
Who?
Daedalus.
What was he?
It was just like a guy looked like the Grim Reaper almost. He was like all clothed and like cloaked and then there was this ring that made this awful noise like Rudolph's nose and that Rudolph
I
show.
feel like that could have been a 70s show, like late 70s, early
Probably
80s.
was, but and then there was
awful.
Helena.
Yes.
Yeah, the damsel in distress.
Of course.
As usual. Yeah, on Mount Olympus.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Herc, it's Daedalus.
Hey Herc.
Yeah.
Oh, annoying.
It was very annoying. But yet, it's burned into my brain.
It is.
Just like that sound of that ring. Oh, get it out. We have to sing something. Sing a la 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 la. Thank you, the Smurfs. Get it out of there. I think it's time to probably go and see what's on. I would love to see if any of those shows are available now.
Oh, it's probably something horrible like Dora the Explorer or things tanked in the 2000s.
Yeah. But I mean, like to go back and to look at a streaming service or something and see if I can watch any of those old goodies.
Okay.
Oldies and goodies.
I like it. Let's do that.
Okay. Maybe we should, what's this episode brought to us by today?
Styrofoam, varnish coated
Sugar
sugar
crisp. Can't get enough of that sugar crisp.
I can certainly get enough of it.
Yeah. I had too much of it.
Too much.
Way too much.
No more.
All right. I guess it's time to go.
guess
Mike's giving us the wrap-up sign.
Yeah.
Mike's done. Mike is so over us right now.
What were you doing on Saturday mornings?
In the 80s, nothing. I was not born
Mike was just
until
a
87.
twinkle. He's just a little twinkle in his mommy's eye.
And then his mommy got Shaggy's sperm. Donor.
Okay, we're done.
We're not
That's
done.
it. That's the episode, guys. See you next time.
Smell you later.
Derailed. Again.
Bye.
God.
If you or anyone you know is a Gen X survivor, you may be entitled to compensation. Not from us, but probably from somewhere. If you would like to connect with us, find us on Facebook at Gen X Rated, or Instagram at Gen_X_rated, and by email at genxratedsocials@gmail.com.